Hey guys, real quick before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Squarespace is a brand that I've used the past few years to host my own personal portfolio, and it is what I recommend to all of my clients. So if you want to get your portfolio off the ground, start taking yourself seriously, I highly recommend you head over to squarespace.com/kel.lauren and use code kel.lauren to get 10% off your first purchase. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about Squarespace after the video. So let's get started. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some soda rebranding. Now, if you're new to my channel and this is like the first time you're watching and I got very lucky and I showed up in your YouTube algorithm, hey, welcome. I recommend you subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me if you do end up enjoying this. Something I do on my channel is redesigning popular logos, and I kind of wanted to tackle some soda ones. Now, I didn't grow up drinking soda. My mom didn't really let us have it. So I'm not really into soda, but I know a lot of people are. So I wanted to redesign some soda logos that are kind of either their iconic cult favorites, they're ones that I don't really care for their branding or their logo, and one that's kind of a classic that people generally are pretty familiar around the globe. So for those three, I have selected. The first one I'm gonna be doing is Sprite, which I feel Sprite is kind of just like a really popular one. I feel like people know it all around the globe. So I have Sprite. Next, I'm gonna be doing, our liquor store only had a giant liter. This is a 2 liter of Mountain Dew. I am gonna be doing Mountain Dew because I don't really care for this logo or the packaging at all. I think it's like really dude bro-esque, which I know is like a good part of their demo, but I wanna revisit this a little bit, so ignore my giant bottle of Mountain Dew. And then the last one is gonna be pretty much a cult favorite, which is Fanta. So that was really loud, I'm sorry. So between these three, I think I have a pretty good range of different creative directions that I'm gonna be going. I wanna give them a brighter, young, more modern approach, yada yada, you know, my thing. So I wanted to try these. So before we get started, I wanted to try some of these just so I can kind of like be more familiar with them, because I don't drink soda. I love like plain sparkling water, I love seltzer, but I don't like flavored sodas like this. So I can't tell you the last time I've had Mountain Dew. I have no idea what it tastes like. I've had Fanta a few times and then I've had Sprite a few times, but I'm not really a fan of any of these. I think they're just too sweet. So I have my cup. Cool, okay. So let's try Sprite first. Please don't explode. Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, it is lemony, lemon lime. I don't really like the bubble size in soda. They're like really small bubbles, I think. In like a sparkling water, like a Topo Chico, the bubbles are bigger. I don't know if that makes sense to other people, but. So we tried Sprite, now let's try Mountain Dew. I want it to explode. I don't think I'm gonna like this one. That tasted just like Sprite. Am I going insane? It's like a slightly less sour Sprite. That's weird. Okay. Well, I don't really know what the difference is between these guys. I do know that I enjoy Fanta. Yeah, I like that. It tastes like just like a carbonated Sunny D, which I did have a few times as a child. Yeah, I'm into that. I feel like these two together would be pretty good. All right, so now that that is out of the way, before we jump into designing, I just want to say that I am a graphic designer. I do this for a living. I went to school for graphic design. If you want to check out my other videos talking about my journey through design and my experience in school, check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have quite a few if you want to see more of my work. Also, I am taking a few freelance clients right now. I don't have much space, but if you are interested in working with me, shoot me an email. I will leave my email and contact, website, portfolio, everything down below. Ooh, and one last thing before we dive in, like I have said in a few of my other videos, this is all my own personal work. This is what I do for fun. I'm not reporting to anyone, so I'm going off on my own creative journey here. If you don't like what I do, I'm sorry. I understand that these are some things that are very near and dear to some people's hearts, and I'm sorry if you don't like it. But this is what I just do for fun, so don't be mean, okay? Okay, cool. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, before we jump into designing, I just want to say that I am a graphic designer. I do this for a living. I went to school for graphic design. If you want to check out my other videos talking about my journey through design and my experience in school, check out some of the other videos on my channel. I have quite a few if you want to see more of my work. Also, I am taking a few freelance clients right now. I don't have much space, but if you are interested in working with me, shoot me an email. I will leave my email and contact, website, portfolio, everything down below. Ooh, and one last thing. Before we dive in, like I have said in a few of my other videos, this is all my own personal work. This is what I do for fun. I'm not reporting to anyone, so I'm sorry if you don't like it. But this is what I just do for fun, so don't be mean, okay? Okay, so the first one I'm gonna be starting off with is Sprite. Now, Sprite is like a classic American drink. It's been around for, let's check. Sprite is a colorless, caffeine-free lemon and lime flavored soft drink created by the Coca-Cola Company. It was first developed in West Germany in 1959. Interesting, and it was introduced as a clear lemon Fanta. And it was introduced to the United States under the current brand name Sprite in 1961 as a competitor to 7-Up. I feel like that's all we really need to know. Simple brand. So let's get started. So I already have a general idea of what I am going to be doing. I have some very quick sketches that you can't even see because it's so blown out. You can see it back here. Cool. So I think the first thing I want to start out with, I'm gonna save this real quick. Cool. Soda.ai. We're professional. Like always, I enjoy using Adobe fonts. Best place to get some fonts that are fully licensed for commercial use. I have a few fonts in mind, but I still want to like check a few out. Oh, cool. Last time I was on Adobe fonts, everything was in Spanish, even though at the bottom it said it was in English, so that was a good time, and it's back to normal now. Okay. So I have my sample text. I do want to go with a sans serif. I think something kind of a little bit with like a curl in the leg would be nice. And I can't remember. Like I like something almost kind of like that, but that's a little cornball-y. Actually, I had my other favorite fonts open. Let me see if I have any of those. None of those will work. It's fine. Will it? No, I think that's a cool font, but I would like something with this a little bit more. That's cool. So I'm gonna add that to my list. Ooh, that's a cool font. Okay, let's do all the paralucent ones. Okay, those are downloading. Moving on. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Now the word Sprite looks really weird to me, and I've only been looking at it for a few minutes. Ooh, I like that one even more. Oh well, let's just go with the ones that I've started with. So, let's see if I can spell. So, this first font I'm gonna use is Bureau Grat, which I think is a really great sans serif bold font. It has a lot of variations within the font family. And then Hypatia is another font that I grabbed. So I'm into both of these. They're actually quite nice. I do like this one. Maybe I'll go with that one. I think this one might be a little bit safe, maybe a little bit better for some like romance copy or something. So I'm just gonna duplicate that. See what a difference like good tracking and kerning can do. Really makes a word look like it has it together. So that can just go away. Right here, Command-Shift-O, outlining, ungroup. And now I'm gonna go in and mess with these letters a little bit. So I wanted to kind of like grab these individual corners. I wanted to kind of like round it out a little bit. Kind of like that, because I love like how this is really jagged and hard right there, but also I kind of want it to have like that free flowing movement. Do you guys hear my computer? Like, let me hold this. That's what I'm dealing with. No, that looks weird. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Into that. And I've learned that like rounding off these corners can really just like soften up a font and make it a little bit more custom instead of just like leaving it with those jagged edges. I don't know. I think it makes it look a little bit more artisanal and friendly. That'll, ooh, I love that T. Okay. I do want to move these anchor points out though. Like so. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, so cute. I gotta stop saying cute as like a design adjective. Cute. That kind of looks like a happy face. Awesome. All right. Just cleaning up these last little bits. Now, is this going to be the end of this logo? No. But I am going to use this as kind of my base to build off of for everything else. Do I want to pull that in? No, that looks really weird. Okay, cool. Gonna group that, and then I'm gonna go up to Object, Envelope, Distort, Make with Warp. And then generally I like to use the Rise because, like, not so much in their current logo, but they used to have this really cool, like, flag effect. Kind of like the text just went up this little, like, whoop, you know? I'm into that. Getting a little dark. So I'm gonna keep that same general effect, so maybe lessen that a little bit. Just like that. Actually, maybe I'll keep a version without, and then I'll do one with mean, there's all sorts of cool things you can do in here. Like one thing that is cool is the wave, because it's very subtle, but you can do some really awesome things with it. The flag is great, but I like the direction that the rise option has. It's a little intense. Maybe let's go a bit less. So now that I have that generally nailed down, I'm gonna start building out some colors. So I'm gonna hop over to Pinterest, pull some of the colors that I have in my boards, because I do want to keep the green, because that is a really fundamental part, like just green and yellow in general. They're important colors for Sprite, so I'm just rambling while I look for my board. Okay, here's the one I was looking for. So I was really into this really vibrant green right here, which is pretty similar to the original Sprite, and also this cool orange. It's like not really like an orange, but like a salmony. It's not quite salmony. I think I could push it to be a little bit more like that. I'll do one more for this dark green. It's a little too dark for me. I feel like maybe I should add a light blue. Might be kind of cute for the packaging. Cute, oh my god. Would be nice for the packaging. A little bit more sky blue. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's like refreshing. Maybe a hint of this. Okay, into that. So now I'm gonna start building out pretty much like what my lockup is gonna be on like the front of the bottle or the can. So I'm just gonna grab this, go to Object, expand it out so it's like all unlocked. Just gonna make the screen for now. Then I'm gonna see if I can do an offset path. Maybe we try some inside. Okay, so just by doing that, it kind of gives me a little bit more of this depth in here. You could do a lot with these little secondary, whoop, that was cool. Not into it, okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing, go to path, offset path. Now I'm gonna do it going outward like that. I think this could be cool with a gradient on it, so we shall try that when we take it to Photoshop. So I'm just gonna clean this up. Like some of these pieces don't need to be so dramatic, just clean that. The O in this P is kind of alarmingly large. I'm just gonna shrink that down a little bit. Maybe I'll scoot it over. Now for this next part, I'm gonna draw what I hope to be as a lemon. That looks weird. I'm just gonna use the pen tool. Cool. So that's my general lockup for right now. I'm gonna do some more once I throw it in Photoshop and actually start mocking it up on what it would look like, probably on a can. I don't want to mock it up on a bottle because the format for a bottle isn't as interesting as a can. The label's just a lot smaller versus on a can. I can have a lot more vertical space, and also I have the full wrap to work with versus just that. So this is the general idea. Maybe this could go a little bit lighter of a yellow. Yeah, I'm more into that. Let's see. Maybe I push this green a little bit lighter too. I don't want it to look like minty green though. Cool. Okay, so like I said, I'll do more once I get in Photoshop, but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of locking up. If I had a space for the front of a can, say it's about yay, I'm just gonna lock that. So if that were like my can front, I would take this and kind of have it wrap right there. And then I was envisioning this, since like on the can it's so like just green, I wanted to infuse 2 more colors because a part of Sprite's history is the slogan that they used to have, which was, oh, I forgot it. So their old slogan was, I like the Sprite in you, which pretty much means like I like something unique, something kind of pizzazzy about you. So what I imagine for this is like something kind of like springy and bright and like energetic. So I wanted to add these kind of like rays coming out from behind it, but I don't know if it'll actually work. I might end up just putting a gradient because who knows. So the way I'm gonna do that is with a stroke. So I'm gonna go window, stroke, dash line, And then I can mess with like the limit of the dash line. So I can do like, not the limit, mess with the width of the dash. You can't quite see it because it's selected, but so it's pretty much like how condensed do you want the rays to be. So if I want them to be a little bit less condensed and just have less of them, something like that. So a higher point in the dash, the wider it'll be. Maybe I'll go like 35. Cool. And then you just blow the heck out of the weight. So if I'm thinking something kind of like that, it got a lot smaller. So once that's done, I'm gonna go up to expand appearance, and then I believe it is outline stroke. Yeah, cool. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and make a new version of this file and then open it in Photoshop to actually mock it up. So I'm gonna copy and paste this into Illustrator. So that's generally like what my lockup is going to look like, and then this is gonna be pretty much what's wrapping around the packaging. And then I'm gonna add like all of my other text in Photoshop. So what I'm gonna do is make sure that's like that. Now I'm gonna save this as, so I'm gonna save that first as an Illustrator file, and then we're gonna go to File, Export As, and then I'm gonna save this as a Photoshop file. So make sure you write your layers, don't flatten the image. And then I'm gonna keep this in RGB because, actually no, I can't keep it in RGB because it'll flatten it. I'm an idiot. So I'm keeping it in CMYK. Let's go. So I downloaded this mockup. I will leave a link for it in the description box. I know a lot of people are always looking for some good mockups, and just like Google around a little bit, you'll find some good ones. I use Mockup World and Graphic Burger, but I'll leave both of them linked down below, and I will leave this one down below as well. So I saved that as a Photoshop file. So now I'm just gonna open it, and it'll just open in Photoshop, just like that. Are you kidding me? It flattened it. Let me try that again. All right, so we're gonna go File, Export As again. Photoshop, export, placing that. Ah, I forgot to click it back. I'm an idiot. All right. I switched to some Sprite. Sprite's all right. Okay, so now that that should open normally, I do not like that it did that, so. Okay, well I guess I gotta do this manually. That was a waste of time. Sometimes this does happen. It will flatten my layers even though I say don't flatten. So if anyone has a solution to that, do let me know. Now what I'm gonna do so it matches these mockups perfectly, I'm gonna open the PSB for this, and then let's see the size. So 841 by 1386. Okay, into that. So I'm gonna focus just on these elements right now. So what I want to do is add a gradient on both of these layers. Cool, I like that. So just turn those back on so you can kind of see. So now it kind of looks like it's like ka-chow, you know? And now I'm gonna go in and do some more little details. So let's save that real quick. So I think something that would be cool would be some texture that I could get through the dissolve brush. So I'm just gonna go up here and get a relatively soft brush. I'm gonna make my size a bit bigger. And what I'm gonna be doing is pretty much like painting behind here. So you can kind of see that color coming through, but I'm gonna set my blending mode for my brush to dissolve. So if you look, I draw a bit right there, you can see this kind of sandy texture, which I really do like, and I think it can really add some depth. So I'm gonna do that as kind of like a bit of a shadow underneath here. Just paint loosely around the edges. And of course that's only under this layer right here. So I am gonna do another layer that's gonna be slightly darker because it'll be a little bit closer to the lemon. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I think keeping that brush the same color is better because it looks a little bit lighter once it sits on the lighter parts of the gradient, which I'm kind of into, so that's fine. Cool, I like that. So then I can also go in here and set this to a different blending mode. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Nope, too much. I think I like that. Lower the opacity a little bit. Okay, into that so far. Now I'm gonna work on my lemon right here. So I do want to take a similar approach with the dissolve as a way to shade everything. So I'm gonna do the same thing with my lemon and kind of not do that, lower my opacity on that a bit, and just kind of paint carefully around the edges, kind of give it some shape. Grab this guy, put it in a mask so we can kind of see what we're working with. Not too sure how I feel about that green. What if we, not a satin overlay, a color overlay. So I think what would kind of be cool here is if I did like some lemon lime like flavor writing up here. So I'm gonna finish this up and I will show you guys the final product right here. Okay guys, it's a few days later. I needed to take a break. Had a few things to do, had to go to work, you know, the same old, same old. So we're back with a part 2 for the soda branding. So now that Sprite is out of the way, we can hop over to our lovely friend, Mountain Dew. So just pretty much looking at Mountain Dew's brand, this is a very masculine brand to me. It's very like dude bro, and I get that. It's, I don't know, when I think of like who drinks Mountain Dew, I definitely think of men, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but I think my approach that I'm gonna take is going to be something a little bit more feminine, just so it could be a little bit more approachable for women, or just anyone who's not like a dude bro, who has like cut off t-shirts and a buzz cut. So yeah, that's pretty much how I'm gonna do this. I already have a general idea of kind of where I want to go with it, but who knows, like the Sprite one, we could be completely all over the place and I might change my mind in the end, so we'll see. So hopping over to Illustrator. So we're in Illustrator, so I kind of like already had this color palette picked out for what I tentatively want to work with, so it is not so like vibrant neon green, and I know that's a pillar to Mountain Dew's brand, but I want to do something a little bit different from the Sprite branding since that one did come out so bright. So I wanted to do something a little bit more muted, a little bit more vintage. I hate using that word, but you know what I mean. So I pulled this font. If you watch my recent favorite fonts video, you might recognize this one. This is called Voltage. This one is also available through Adobe Fonts, and I really like it. I think something really awesome about Mountain Dew is its old packaging, and just looking at this, like I love this hand-done feel. I love the Yahoo aspect to it. And then also they had this thing called Dew Shine, which I guess maybe was like their original name, or it was maybe a reinvented throwback thing. But I don't know how they went from such a cool hand-done brand to where they're at. Like even this logo that they had, like this one is an awesome logo to me. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know why they abandoned it, because that is that is a classic approachable logo versus something like this is like kind of jarring. So I wish they kept their old logo. So that's where we're at. So hopping back over to Illustrator, this is the approach that I do tentatively want to take. So right now I did take the Voltage font and I threw a warp on it. I'm just playing around with it a little bit because I kind of want it to have this really dramatic M and have it pull up and kind of hug around the dew, much like they have in the old logo here. I like that it's kind of making this weird shape right here, so I do want to kind of follow a similar idea for this. So I'm gonna go to Envelope, Distort, Warp, and see if I can mimic something that's kind of gonna do what I want it to do. I'm kind of into that so far. I do want to add a little bit of a mountain range right here and maybe like a sun peeking up here or some sort of cloud iconography. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of like into that so far. Might be kind of cool to pull some of these swashes out. So maybe I'll work with that. So I'm going to duplicate this, go up to Object, expand it out. I'm not really into that. Never mind. Scratch that entirely. Okay, so we got this. Let's go to Pathfinder, merge, and I do want to do kind of like an offset thing that I did that was kind of similar to what I did for my Folgers logo. Command 8 that to make it a compound path, Command 8 that to make that a compound path. And one thing that I have been playing with a lot is using the blend tool with a gradient. So I will show you what that looks like. So we're gonna grab these and then we go to Object, Blend, Options. And then I think we wanna go Smooth Color, Blend, Make. Yeah, so you can get these really subtle gradients that look awesome with a lot of type. Even if like you threw this now on like a solid green background, like you can get some pretty cool subtleties in there that look 3D. So I think what I'm gonna do for this back one is to maybe go a little bit darker. I'm kind of into that, that's cool. Maybe I'll make it a little bit deeper. So the cool thing about using the blend tool is that you can just automatically move whatever you need to just immediately get that effect. You don't have to like re-blend anything. So I'm copying that top layer and then pasting it in place. Maybe I wanted that as like an outline. So I have this. I think what I'm gonna do now is start adding in, no, I don't know, let me think. Okay, we're gonna scratch the blend. Let me do some undos, hold on. So we're gonna take this, go to the Pathfinder, cut that out, and then we're gonna paste the other one in place again. Just gonna offset that a bit. Okay, I'm into those. I adjusted those colors a little tiny bit. Update my color palette. So I think what I want to do now is add in the actual mountains, because what would a logo be without mountains, you know? So let's look at the old one. What did they do for mountains? Okay, they have like these rolling hills. I think those are cool. Let's pull some of those. I guess they're not really mountains, they're semi-mountains. They're more just like mounds. They should call this Mountain Dew. So I'm gonna take a similar style to this, trace over it. All right, so there are my mountain hill things. Maybe I'll add in my sun that I never got to add into my Folgers logo. See what it looks like. Maybe it'll look dumb. There's a good chance it'll actually look really dumb, but we'll try it anyway. I think it'd be cool to add something that is reflective of the dew part of it, since it is Mountain Dew. Like that's dew is water. So I think it'd be cool if I could add like some sort of like sheen on top of these mountains here. So I want to add like little things, kind of like that, like little embellishments. So I'm just gonna draw one of those again. I want it to feel really hand done. I could just use like an actual shape tool for this, but it's not the approach we're going for today, boys and girls, because this is hot and fast packaging design. That looks dumb. Pretend I didn't do that. Okay, I'm into that. Well, let's try some cool rays like I tried to do with my Sprite and then failed miserably. I might look just as dumb. So I'm using the circle tool again, and I'm gonna Shift X to switch that to the stroke. And then we're gonna find the stroke option, change that to a dash line, and then we're just gonna go to like, that's not what I wanted. Was it this one? Oh, I'm an idiot. I do it here. Kind kind of into that. That's like, it looks like a farm. Maybe not that big. Yeah, maybe it's just like starting to tuck behind the mountain there. Okay, into that, into that. I think it'll be really cute with some more flourishes on it. Like if I add some cool little like shiny things on the sun. I don't know, maybe that'll be dumb. Let's see. I like the idea, I don't like how that looks. So while we're here, let's grab the offset type that I did. Let's see if we can work it in here. Okay, so I think that's going to be my tentative logo for now, and now my next step is going to be to move it into a packaging format so we can lay it out on a can. So let's go do that. Alright guys, we are back for part 3. It is a few days later. Again, I have accrued a 100,000 subscriber plaque, so that's gonna be sitting back here in the back of this video for the last section. And I'm pretty excited about doing Fanta because I've had the most ideas for doing Fanta. I want this to be really bright and kind of like pop-esque, as if it were just like a new seltzer soda brand. So just diving into this really quick. Looking at Fanta's label, I have this really neat hand-done font that is bubbly and kind of flowy. It's got this cute little orange in the background, similar to what I did with the Sprite logo. Got an orange in the front, it just says orange right there. It's got this weird little flower thing up here. That's strange. Let's see if I can get that. Somewhere up there. Yeah, and it says 100% natural flavor, so that'll be fun text to work with. It's orange soda. It's called orange soda, so that's cool. All right, so let's dive into it. sorry about that. Late last night, I unfortunately lost my third file that I was working on for Fanta, so I will do a Fanta video separate of this. I want to do a full brand dive and do some really awesome packaging for them, so I guess it ends up working out in the end. But unfortunately, I did lose that file, so I am going to have to recreate it. Make sure you have your autosave turned on in Illustrator if you don't already. And just make sure you're saving your work because you never know when it's going to be 1:30 in the morning and you make something really wonderful and beautiful and then your entire computer crashes. So cool. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I had a lot of fun doing it. It was definitely more difficult than the coffee branding one, and I think it was partially because I broke it out into a little bit more of full packaging versus what I did with the coffee was a little bit simpler, just throwing a logo on a cup. But if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, definitely make sure you are subscribed down below and like this video if you enjoyed watching it. I know these are long ones, but I have a lot of fun making them. And also, I want to thank our sponsor for today's video, which is Squarespace. I've used Squarespace for years, literally 4 years. That's what I've built my portfolio on, and I've loved it since day one. It was my immediate go-to when I was building a website. It's really easy to use, even from someone who used to do web design. I really enjoy being able to customize everything. It's easy, it's simple. You don't have to be a web designer to do anything. And also, if you are ever confused with using Squarespace, their customer service is literally top-notch. I have contacted them so many times with random issues that I was having or questions that I had, and they were immediately able to answer me. And the best thing about Squarespace is that it is a website building platform for everyone. So whether you are starting a restaurant, you are a blogger, you're an artist trying to sell your work, you're a musician, anything, there are templates for you, and it is really easy to customize everything. You can make it look truly like your own website. It's not going to look like a template website, and I think that's really awesome, and I love that everything is fully customizable. And again, if you do have any issues or questions, their customer service team is amazing. So I cannot recommend Squarespace enough. I really love working with them, and I love their brand and their company. You can start your free Squarespace trial today at squarespace.com/kel.lauren, that's KELLAUREN, and use code kel.lauren to get 10% off your first purchase. Which is awesome, helps you get your career started, your business started, your portfolio started. Just get it off the ground. Making a website is making it real, makes it tangible, forces you to take it seriously, so make sure you head over to them. So aside from that, that's all I have for you guys today. This video took me a week and a half to film due to all of my technical difficulties and just the chaos of my week. I'm about to head over to the airport to fly to New York for the next few days. By the time you guys see this, I'll already be back, so it'll just be a quick trip, but I'll be back next week for some more content. I have some really awesome things coming for you guys. I'm really excited. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. I'm so excited to finally have my plaque. I don't know where I'm gonna put it in our house, but we'll find a good home for it regardless. That's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.